There are many choices nowadays when it comes to robot vacuums. One particularly interesting choice is the Roborock X7 MaxV because it comes with a whole slew of new and innovative features that I'm personally impressed that Roborock managed to think of such an idea, implement it into a product and have it be effective at the same time. So let me show you what this new Roborock X7 MaxV can do. So firstly, let's talk about the unboxing. The version of the Roborock X7 MaxV that we have here is the bare bones version of the robot vacuum. That is why it comes in this fairly simple box, and we'll talk about the optional accessories later. So the box has quite a lot of useful information printed on it, but I think if you're going to buy this robot vacuum from an online store, then it's a bit too late to take an actual look at the box to learn more about the product because you've already bought it and it's already in your house. Opening up the box reveals a big piece of plastic base. We'll get into that later. Then we have the mop here as well, alongside with the user manual booklet, and of course we also have the power cord as well. This power cord is relatively long, and it is nice that Roborock included a velcro strap to tidy up the cables as well. After that, we'll have to remove the top layer to reveal the robot vacuum itself alongside with the charging station. Just remember to rip off the plastic off the charging station because the sensors need to work properly. And that is the whole unboxing experience. We do not have any extra accessories or replacement parts in the box, unlike the Roborock X6 MaxV that we reviewed last 2 years ago. You can check it out at the top right corner there. Now let's take a look at the robot vacuum itself. The shape is pretty typical for a robot vacuum, but the design this time is rather interesting because it's entirely black in color and it uses some sort of matte finish with some red embellishments at the side. And now let's talk about the maintenance of the Roborock X7 MaxV. It's actually one of the best out there. From the top, we can slot our fingers in the front, pop off the hood to reveal the dustbin. The entire dustbin can be lifted out from the vacuum, and this is where we can also replace the HEPA filter. However, as shown earlier, there are no extra HEPA filters in the box, so we'll have to source it ourselves somewhere, either from Roborock officially or through some third-party means. And it is also at the front here that we can pinch out the water tank too. It is definitely not the biggest water tank out there, and there's also some holes at the center, which we will also talk about it later. The mop add-on is easy to just snap on near the bottom of the robot vacuum. It's, however, not the easiest to take out because it is so close to the floor, and it is especially annoying since this robot vacuum uses a kind of a pincer mechanism to hook it on both ends of the mop. Removing the mop cloth itself from the add-on is actually very simple, and there's also a rail to help guide the mop from sliding in and out from the add-on. And then at the bottom we have one sweeper on the right side of the vacuum, and then we can also take out this sweeper by just simply unscrewing it, but I don't think we need to because there's a tiny little brush to prevent dust and tangled hair from getting into the axle itself. And for the roller, we can just pop it off and the entire roller can be lifted off with just one simple motion. One of the new innovations this time is the quote-unquote all-rubber brush. Roborock claims it can resist hair tangles, which is why they don't even include the seatbelt cutter tool look-alike thing to cut tangled hair from the roller like what we saw on any other robot vacuum so far. The roller's end caps can also be removed easily so that any hair curled around the axle can also be removed easily, so nice touch there. And then I got everything set up and I went through the whole pairing process, and this time I'm using Mi Home, or as it's called now, the Xiaomi Home app, because I have other products that is connected with this smart home system too. The entire setup process of the Roborock S7 MaxV is very straightforward. Just add the device to your account and then connect it to the same Wi-Fi network as what you have in your house, and then you're done. So now let's take a look at all of the features available on the new Roborock S7 MaxV, and I have to say it's quite different from the Roborock S6 MaxV, so let me just open the Mi Home app here on the iPad, because you can install this app on either your Android phones, Android tablets, iPad, and even your iPhones. Everything works. So you can see here I have quite a lot of other stuff added into my Mi Home account. So I'll just tap into the Roborock X7 MaxV, then we can see that this is the layout of my house. Technically it's the upstairs, so we can see we already have all of the rooms mapped, which is really nice. And that gaping orange part here is actually the staircase, which is really nice since it didn't jump down the staircase. So you can see it detected all of the obstacles, which I'll get into that later as well. And yeah, actually no, I'll just show you right now. So we can see here when I tap on this obstacle, I already enabled the photo taking capability, the feature. So it will try to capture all of the pictures if there's an obstacle to let me know what kind of obstacle that this robot vacuum is seeing. So for example, for this one, it sees some obstacle is actually my tripod leg. this camera's tripod leg. And then let's just say this one. It actually got this right. This is actually a scale that I place upstairs outside my room here. And according to Roborock, the S7 MaxV can also detect quite a lot more stuff accurately. Scale is one of them. And then now we also can tap on this and then, oh, this is not a wire, but it's actually a chair wheel. So yeah, I placed the dock in the room here. It's actually one of the unused bedroom, and it pretty much works really well in terms of the mapping system and how it navigates all around. You can see that it started going around the entire perimeter. Then after that, it went to one of the rooms, clean it up first, and then go to the second room, third room, fourth room, and then finally completing the entire cleaning cycle. Okay, so enough about that. The interface of this app here is actually very simple. We can see there's one button at the top right corner there to enter the settings menu. So we can manage maps. So if you have multiple story houses, then you can add multiple different stories here. But of course, you will have to carry up the robot vacuum to each floor, which is kind of annoying. But if you want to do that, you can, because you can see here multi-level or single level. I'm currently using it in single level mode because it's only used for upstairs. And then schedules. If you want to set a schedule, go on ahead. And then we can go to this pin and go. So pin and go is technically to clean a specific spot in your house. So yeah, just put a pin there and then the robot vacuum will go to that specific area and just clean that area. Remote control. Yeah, remote control. Technically, it is literally what it means. So you use this D-pad here to control where the robot vacuum goes to clean that particular area. Technically, it's a variation of the pin and go feature. So yeah, cleaning history. Yeah, this is all the cleaning history that it did. Then under function settings, we have the reactive AI obstacle avoidance. So the reactive AI obstacle avoidance system here is actually what we mentioned earlier. It can take a picture of what the robot vacuum sees and then tries to tell you what it has detected. And also, if we enable the obstacle photo option here, it will also take a picture. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, pet details. If you have a pet at home, this is very important. And then feel like I just leave it in automatic, because if it's too dark, then there's also a torchlight in front of the Roborock S7 MaxV so that it can see properly in the dark. As for robot settings, this is pretty simple. So if you want to turn off the indicator lights, you can do it right here. But I'm just gonna leave everything as default. Robot voice. Yes, you can change the voice of your robot vacuum. I'm not gonna do that, but it's available in a variety of different languages, including Bahasa Melayu if you want that. Then maintenance. If you want to check the status of every single part of your robot vacuum, so you can do it right here. As you can see here, my filter is already at 99%. All of the sensors are still okay, but I will need to clean them soon because you can see it has already been depleted. As you can see here, it even tells you how to actually clean those brushes and whatnot. And then all of these other stuff is technically not really important, so if you want to explore that for yourselves, you can. And then back to the home screen here, one important button is this one at the bottom right corner. So we can adjust the suction power and also the scrub intensity of this robot vacuum. And the latter one is very important because one of the brand new features available on the Roborock S7 MaxV is this Vibra Rise feature. Technically, what this Vibra Rise feature does is to literally have a vibrator in the mop compartment there to shake up all of your dirt from your tiles. So my question was, can this robot vacuum literally scrub the floor for me? Turns out it can, because this robot vacuum can vibrate up to 3000 times per minute, and this vibration is supposed to remove all of the stubborn stains. So after knowing that it can literally scrub my floor clean, I filled the water tank, installed the mop section as well, and then I immediately set the scrub to maximum and the suction power to maximum as well, and just let the Roborock S7 MaxV clean my house for the first time. And I'm also surprised that the Roborock S7 MaxV didn't jump off the stairs or get tangled in any cables, because my room is kind of like a warehouse plus an office plus a studio. Yeah, it's messy. And after the cleaning session, the floor felt amazing. It was squeaky clean and I'm impressed. I mean, clearly the Vibra-Rise scrubbing feature worked like a charm, because I have never felt these tiles in my room to be this squeaky before. Better yet, because of how these floor tiles are kind of textured and it has depth, the vibration can really agitate all of the dirt out as well. Unfortunately though, the vibrations can't clean the grouts, as in the gap between the tiles. I wasn't expecting it to clean the grouts, but I surely wish it did. And also, as a quick mention, the plastic base that we first saw when we unboxed this robot vacuum is actually meant to go alongside with the charging station, so water wouldn't keep dripping off of the mop, which I think isn't an issue after all because it didn't leak. So I just left the plastic piece back in the box. And now let's talk about the accessory. You see, the Roborock S7 MaxV has one accessory that I think is really necessary. So this accessory has a total of 3 different containers, and it is called the Empty Wash Fill Dock. And I'm not joking, that is literally what the website says. However, the name of this accessory is literally describing what it does. First, it empties the dustbin inside the robot vacuum into another larger container inside the dock. Second, it washes the mop of the Roborock S7 MaxV automatically. There's a brush under the mop apparently, so it can scrub all of the dirt from the mop, and then all of the dirty water will also be removed into another container inside the dock. Thirdly, it also refills the water tank of the Roborock X7 MaxV so that it has sufficient water for the next mopping session. Of course, this dock also charges the Roborock S7 MaxV as well. However, we do not have this empty wash fill dock with us, so we will perhaps do a separate follow-up video review when we finally get our hands on it. So, if you're looking to get one of the best robot vacuums out there right now, then the Roborock S7 MaxV should be on your list. It has all of the right features that we can actually use, like easy maintenance and also smart home ecosystem integration for easy remote control, plus the new Vibra-Rise feature too. The price of the Roborock S7 MaxV is at $3,399, which is rather high, yes, but there's also no other robot vacuums in the market right now that can offer this level of cleanliness. But also, Roborock tends to have some major promotions, so you're most probably gonna get it lower than the aforementioned price during promotional periods. And also, if you want to get the Roborock S7 MaxV alongside with the empty wash fill dock, then you can get the Roborock S7 MaxV Ultra when it is available. Technically, it's the same robot vacuum but bundled with that super advanced dock. No idea about its price since it's not available locally yet. So yeah, that's it. That's all we have to share with you about the Roborock X7 MaxV, and I am truly loving this robot vacuum. It's also very quiet, by the way, and it can clean this floor way too cleanly, which I am just amazed. I just had a cleaning session earlier today and the floor is still squeaky clean. I just want to rub my face on the floor, and yeah, that's all we have to share for you today, and I hope you find this video informative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.